Hello and welcome to this video on further aspects of final accounts. So we've got two new things here. We've got accrual of income. Now that's income which has not been received by the end of an accounting period and relates to that particular accounting period. And prepayment of income, income received during an accounting period which relates to the following accounting period. An example here could be rent received, so the rent was being received in advance. Right, let's have a look at an example now. So an example. There's a lot of information in this example. The following information is available. It's got receipts from Nexum Limited for commission received during the year totaled £800. That's been received during the year. Receipts during the year from advertising board in the shop window has been £420. And receipts received during the year from tenants for rent of the flats above the shop, £16,720. That's all money received during the financial year. Now we've got details of accruals and prepayments of income. These are as follows. So our current year is on the right. The year ended on 31st December 2018. So that's the end of the year. And the previous year, the year ended on 31st December 2017. So that'll also be the beginning of our current year. So commission income from Nexum Limited, there was nothing at the end of 2017. But at the end of 2018, it was in arrears of £20. Income from advertising board. At the end of 31st December 2017, there was no accrual or prepayment of income there. But at the end of 31st December 2018, has been received in advance £40. Now, income from tenants for the rent. So income from tenants for rent. Now, this one's a bit more complicated. At the end of the year, ended 31st December 2017, it's been paid in advance £200, but it was also in arrears by £125. So someone's paid in advance and someone still owed money. At the end of December 2018, again, someone had paid in advance £400 and someone was in arrears, they still owed the money of £75. Right, so what do we have to do? It says required. Calculate the correct amounts for the income statement using nominal ledger accounts. That's our standard T accounts. So the first one here I've got is your commission income account. So let's see what we've got for commission income. So receipts from Nexum Limited for commission received during the year was £800. Now, if you received money on the bank account, it'll be on the debit side. So on the income account, it's on the credit side. So again, this is do your dead click, which you can remember from seeing on the chart on the wall. So income of £800. It's received during the year, so I'm going to put down bank. And the date, at the end of the financial year, is 31st December 2018. So that's our £800 there, received during the year. Now let's see what's about the prepayments and accruals of income. At the beginning of the year, there was nothing, so we don't have to worry about that. At the end of the year, it was in arrears of £20. That means another £20 was still owed for our commission income. So it's going to increase our commission income by £20. So that's going to be on the credit side. So £20. As we've not received it yet, that'll be our balance carried down. As for the end of the year, so it's the 31st December 2018. Now, there's no more other details on commission income now. So we've got to balance the account now. So we've got no figures at the moment on the debit side. We've got two figures on the credit side. So you're going to balance the account. On the credit side, our total is £820, which means our debit side is going to be the same amount, to £820. Now, that £820, that's what's going to be shown in the income statement. That's going to be transferred to the income statement. So on the income statement, it's going to show commission income of £820. That's for the financial year ended the 31st December 2018. Right, so let's tidy up now. So we've got our totals here. So we want to put the lines above and below our totals, just like sums in maths. So let's check your lines again. Here we go. Now you remember from the past, in our T accounts, nominal accounts, you've got a balance carried down, you automatically have a balance brought down on the opposite side. So it's carried down here on the credit side, it's going to be brought down on the debit side over here. So we're going to have balance brought down. And the amount is going to be the same amount, it's going to be our £20. When it's brought down, it's at the start of the next financial year, which is the next day after the 31st December 2018. That's going to be the 1st of January 2019. Now remember, in your exams, if you have a balance carried down, you must always put the balance brought down, because there is very, very often a mark for putting both the carried down figure and the balance brought down figure. If you only have the balance carried down, you will lose out on the mark. So that's that commission income account. Our next account is advertising income account. So let's see what we've got for advertising income. So remember, this is an income account, so the entries are on the credit side of the money received. So receipts received during the year from advertising board and shop window, £420. So that's going to be on our credit side, it's income. We're going to have our details going to be bank. And the end of the year was the 31st December 2018. So that's now dealt with the advertising income. Now let's go to the accruals and prepayment section. So at the end of last year, there was no accruals or prepayment, so don't worry about that. Now, at the end of this year, 31st 2018, it was paid in advance, £40. So that means £40 that relates to the following year. So in the 420 there, £40 that relates to next year. So we've got to reduce the amount because it relates to next year. And just check the amount, it was £40. So the debit side, £40. Now, just for a moment, I'm going to put it in the row below. So it's £40. It's going to be balance carried down. You'll see what I put in the row below in a moment. Balance carried down. At the end of the year, 31st December 2018. Now, we always want the balance carried down to be at the bottom of our calculations in the non-ledger account before the total. So now we see on my credit side, I've got a total here of 420. On my debit side, my total there is just £40. And we want both totals to be the same, so that's got to be 420 as well. Then the missing figure is going to be your 420 less your £40. It's going to give us £380. That's the amount going to be shown in our income statement. So the income statement, that's the end of the financial year, which is the 31st of December 2018. So now we want to tidy it up. So I want my lines for my totals on both the debit side and the credit side. Now again, we've got a balance carried down here. So we all know by now, if you've got a balance carried down, you must have a balance brought down on the opposite side. So now again, this must be underneath the total. So you've got balance brought down. The amount is the same, £40. And it's the start of the next financial year. So the last financial year was ended the 31st of December 2018. So the next day is going to be the 1st of January 2019. As I said several times now, if you have a balance carried down, you must always put your balance brought down because very, very often there's a mark for that. If you don't have the brought down figure, but you have the balance carried down, you lose your free mark. Now remember, you must do the layout exactly as we've got here. So your balance brought down is underneath the totals, and your balance carried down is above the totals. So that's your advertising income account. Now the next account, let's check down here, is the rent income account. So rent received from our tenants. So receipts during the year from tenants for rental flats above the shop was 16,720. I'll come back to that in a moment. Because here we've got some extra stuff this time. Income from tenants for rent. At the end of last year, someone had paid in advance 200, someone had paid in arrears of £125. So I'm going to show you how we learned how to do this in the past. So this is our little workings now. So last year, someone had paid in advance £200. So I go down to my income account. Now my income account last year, rent income, so this income, it would have been on the credit side. Now if someone's paid in advance, the amount would then go on the debit side. So let's check the amount paid in advance. So it's £200. So we'd have £200 there, and that would have been my balance carried down at the end of last year. So again, this is just my workings now. So at the end of last year, we had a balance carried down on the debit side of £200. That was the rent paid in advance. Now the rent in arrears was £125. So someone has owed us still £125. So the rent figure should then have been £125 more. So that's going to go on my credit side. And that's going to be, again, my balance carried down. Now that's the bit that several students get confused with. So as long as you do the works that we've done here, you should not go wrong. So that bit there, that's just my workings. So let me just highlight that. That's the workings. Now I'm going to do the proper rent income account. So if there's a balance carried down at the end of last year, £200 on the debit side, it must therefore be balance brought down on the opposite side, which is the credit side, for the following year. So it's £200, and the start of our year is the 1st of January 2018. Likewise, if there's a balance carried down on the credit side last year, that would be now on the balance brought down on the debit side. So balance brought down, the amount is £175. It's the start of the financial year, which is the 1st of January 18. So we've dealt with our balances at the end of last year. Now we're going to do the straightforward bit. The receipts received during the year for tenants for rental flats above the shop is £16,720. So that's income, so that's on the credit side. So it's £16,720. So income side, £16,720. They received that from the bank. Now it's for the whole year, so for the end of the financial year, the 31st of December 2018. Now the final bit now. So again, income from tenant for rents. At the end of our current year, someone had paid in advance by £400. Someone was in arrears by £75. So let's do the in advance first. So in advance, £400. That means included in there is £400 that relates to next year. So I'm going to leave a line and I'm going to put balance, carry down. That's £400. That's the end of the financial year. So it's the 31st of December 2018. And likewise, there was another figure in arrears. So someone owed us £75 at the end of the year. So we were owed income of £75. So it's going to go on my credit side. So it's £75. It was outstanding at the end of the year. So it can be balance, carry down. So the 31st December 2018. So this one we got two balance brought down at the top. One on the debit and one on the credit. And carrying down at the bottom, one on the debit and one on the credit. So now we've got to balance the accounts. That basically means that two sides got to total the same. So we want the biggest total. The credit side totals 16,995, which means the debit side must total the same amount, 16,995, to make the two accounts sides balance. And then the missing figure is going to be your 16,995. Take away your opening balance. Take away your balance carry down. It gives us £16,470. And that's the amount which goes in your income statement. And that's for the financial year ended the 31st December 2018. I've just noticed one at the bottom should be the 31st December as well. Now I'm going to tidy it up. So we've got our totals. So the lines above and below, just like in your maths. So again, the same one, the total over here. It missed out the one on the debit side, so let's have a go at doing that one again. There we've got the totals now. And remember now, you've got your balance carry downs now. So that balance carry down to £400 on debit must now go on the credit side underneath the total. So I've got balance brought down, and the amount is £400. And the date is the next day, the start of the new financial year, so it's the 1st of January 2019. Likewise, got a balance carry down here on the credit side, so that must be brought down on the debit side. And again, it must be underneath the totals, not above, it must be underneath. And the amount brought down is £75. The start of the next financial year, which is the 1st of January 2019. So remember, your layouts must be like this if you want to get the full marks in exams. So your layouts must be like that. So there's 3 examples there to do with prepayment and accrual of income. So thank you for watching and thank you for listening.